Okay, welcome to part 3 of the walk through the basement. I want to give you guys an update through the magic of video. It probably seems like it was like one day, but it's been 6 weeks exactly since we did the first walkthrough. This is the end of the rough end. This is the end of our participation. We're at the stage now where we're handing it off to some professionals. So let's get a quick walkthrough of where we are and tell you where the handoff begins and ends, and we'll see where it goes from there. Come on down. As you can see, we don't have concrete floors anymore. We do, but it's underneath real flooring. We actually have a real floor in all the way across the basement. But it's covered up with a kind of a cardboard product to protect it. It's called ram board. I've never heard of it, but man, is it awesome. It really is. Come on down. Oh yeah. So starting the tour, you can see that, if you can pan around, Carrie, you can see the framing is up and let's see, from where we left off, the framing is up. All of the electrical is in. We went through about 12, 13, 14, 15 different breakers in terms of zones, in terms of actual circuits that we put in. These are all outlets from this zone. In here, inside the hobby room, we've got a number of different circuits. We've got a light circuit. We've got, interestingly enough, we've got, come up closer so you can see in here. We've got some of the electrical for some of the work I know I'm going to do. We've got a couple of 30 amp 220, a 20 amp 220. This is going to be for the grape crusher. These are going to be for heating elements for beer, cheese, what have you, who knows. Framing wise, what looks different here is we've got obviously the electrical for the inside. We've got desk or table high outlets here and here. The stainless steel cabinets are going up here. You can see the backer boards are going here. Over here, if you can look past the stuff that's in here, there will be a 3-compartment sink. Come up closer so you can see it here. A 3-compartment sink. Got the plumbing in. This is a backer board for the wash handle. This is a backer board for the actual sink itself. And obviously the stub outs for the supply side. The drain, by the way, is new. This is the drain for the triple compartment sink. It's going to sneak around the corner in the wall back to our singular drain down here. Over here is a kind of a bucket faucet. Bucket faucet has looks like a regular faucet, but with a support up here. You can hang a 5-gallon bucket on it, fill it up, turn it off. And it's a very sturdy faucet. We had one in the old place and it worked fantastic. So we thought we'd continue that. In here is the supply room, and nothing really to this. A couple of outlets in the wall, a light switch. But what I think might be new is this panel is up and running and live. I don't remember if that was if we had shown that in the last, but all the electrical comes in, all the breakers are in, power comes in down through here. This is for future. This is going to come in from the barn, and so that's just there for. We're going to have another box here to change the gauge of the wire. Found out that the gauge for the buried wire is just too thick to get in here, so we're going to go from I think quad 0 to number 2 into here. So that's that. The one thing that you'll notice that you're able to see this, and you're able to see this because we got all the lights in. We put a total of 49 can lights in. And all of that is in and running. We also have all the high voltage cabling is in, and the low voltage cabling is in. Let me show you real quick. We put in a single set of loops all the way through the HVAC, running the length of the basement. So we've got Ethernet, cable, TV, and believe it or not, we've got some thermostat wire through there. So all the low voltage comes right through here. And some of the Ethernet actually sneaks upstairs to our hub and router, right up through here. We found a hole, or we found where the wall was up there, drilled a hole that goes right into the wall, and we snuck it upstairs yesterday, being the cameraman here. Say hello, Carrie. So, at any rate, as you can see, the guys have loaded in the drywall. This is 54 inches tall by 16 foot long. Insanely heavy, my lord. This is upwards of 200 pounds a bundle, 100 pounds a sheet. I have no idea how these guys are going to hang these things. I'm just thankful it's not me. And all I know is I'm really hoping, these guys have been doing it for 40 years. I hope they can cover up all of my sins. One of the things that they are going to cover up is Carrie and I made a time capsule. So we've included in this wall cavity a little time capsule. It's really something simple. It's just our handprints. Carrie wrote a message. I don't know if you can read it. Carrie, read it to him.
This basement was finished in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic. We needed something to do during the quarantine that shut down the country. The drywall went in on June 15th through 19th, sealing this message for a future owner to find. We hope you love this house and land as much as we do. It says Wayne and Carrie Harris and the dogs, Charlie, Sophie, Lucy, and Cooper. And then it says house built in August 2017.
Included is an SD card of all the photographs that we've taken down here and all the photographs of the land. So all of the photographs that we have of this property before we built, while we were scouting it, during staking, during excavation, they're on there. I don't have any aspirations that they're going to last more than 10 years. I think that's the average life of an SD card. But we'll see. That's their problem. Today is the kind of a demarc day. It's the last day that we have to finish up all the things that we're doing. Like I said, we're starting to bring professionals in. Professionals are going to hang this. As soon as they're finished hanging, gluing, screwing, taping, mudding, sanding, as soon as they get done doing their magic with this, we bring another guy in who's going to paint the ceilings. And every bit of the ceiling is going to get painted like a charcoal, dark grayish, everything. Good and bad. I like the industrial look. I will lose the color reference. See, right here? I know these are cold water lines because they're blue. They won't be blue. So that's a bit of a loss that is going to be weird. But I think overall it's going to be a good look. Then once that's done, the doors will come in. We get to put doors in, casement, baseboard. What else? Ceiling fan. We get to put in a light for the pool table. The light for the pool table is all wired in. The pool table will be in here somewhere. The light will hang right here. Go on in. We'll show you real quick what the office turned out to be. This is going to be my office, and my desk will be about here. My radio bench will be here. A couple of credenzas and bookshelves back here. This is, I don't know why this is funny to me. This is funny. This is our sump pump area. I didn't want to put a door here. I technically could have put a very skinny door in here, but I just didn't want a door. I wanted a little hatch. So we have a hatch that will sit here, and this wall will just look like it is. But I had to envision what you would do if you needed to service this. So my thought was that we could just climb in there and work. Turns out you can't. You actually, in order to reach down in here, this hatch was up here. If you look back in previous videos, I don't remember what previous videos we had. The hatch was up here, and you could crawl through it easily. But you couldn't reach down there. So I had to take it all apart and do it again. So now, if you wanted to, you have to come down here, and now you can work on things. But if you have to get in, how do you get in? Well, you can worm your way through, but I put this in. So now you're got a little ladder to climb up and down. Easy enough. So anyway, I just think that's fun. What else? Oh, Carrie and I yesterday was all about low voltage. We ran the Ethernet, we ran the coax, but I needed from a radio standpoint, I need an equipment ground separate from the electrical ground, because the electrical ground, if something goes wrong, could have a potential, could have a voltage potential, and I can't have that on antennas, radio equipment. So we put this in. This is some stranded number 2 copper. Goes up into the ceiling. Carrie and I ran it through the ceiling, straight out the side of the house, and there's an 8-foot grounding rod right outside the house. So there we go. Now I have an independent grounding source. Put these in occasionally because over time, some of these, I learned a lot when I was framing. I learned that nothing is straight, nothing is true, and everything is twisted. And things, they move over time. These were perfectly straight up and down when I put them in, but they were almost 3/4 of an inch out of square from a warp standpoint. I came down here and about 2 or 3 of them were warped. So where you see these is where I'm trying to straighten them back out. There will be a TV hung in here in this area. Not sure exactly where, but here's the outlet for a wall-mounted TV. A couple of Ethernet lines, coax, and the white is the rear speakers for back there. This is a chimney frame in for the Green Mountain 80
60
fireplace that we're putting in. So I had to put this little jigger in here to make room for a double-walled. They call it a thimble. It's what goes to the side of your house. So that's there for future use. Over here, we've got kind of a really odd arrangement. This was simply supposed to be a wall. The way the 16-foot wall ended, it was here. Then I put another one in over here to take it to where we thought it was going to end, which was right here. Then I added this for structural stability. Then we started measuring cabinets, going, okay, what is our distance from here to here, and what are our options from a cabinetry standpoint for the bar that's going to go here? And a couple of mind changes, a couple of realities set in. We're going with a 30, 30, and 30 with a little bit of a spacer on that side. Bottom line is, had to kind of engineer this wall, keep layering on until we got to the right length we needed. Ended up yesterday, we had to go get a 1x6 and just kind of fix that to the end here so that we have the correct length and the correct corner. Of course, that meant we had to put we had to move, or I actually add a nailer board back here. Spent a lot of time in this project putting nailer boards in where corners have to meet. So now we have drywall coming this way, it's got a place to nail, and we've got drywall this way, and it's got a nice place to nail. This here is obviously supply side water for the bar, drain. lot of electrical in here, just kind of the way it worked. There's a lot of electrical because of this switch. This switch is going to cover the bar lights. It's going to cover this outlet, which is going to be under cabinet lighting and accent lighting, if you will. And then a third switch for this light, which is going to be just a bar top light hanging. I don't know if it's going to be a pendant light or what it's going to be, but it's going to be something hanging in this area here. So 3 light switches, a 3-way, an accent light, and a dedicated spot for the bar. Bathroom over here is standard bathroom. We started adding a little bit of insulation, mainly just for the soundproofing. I don't need to hear what goes on inside there.
So, what are those boards?
Oh yeah, these boards here. These boards are, again, nailers, as we did the math on where shelf brackets, would need to be. They're in this area somewhere, and so we put nailers up just to give us a good solid footing for shelf brackets. We figured, you put three layers or 3 shelves in. They're going to be about here, here, and here, and they could get heavy with whiskey bottles and expensive. So we really don't want those coming off the wall. Bathroom, standard bathroom. Since you guys last have seen it, we put in a ceiling fan. A ceiling fan and a light, and a light over the shower. This is going to be the vanity light. This is water coming in for the. This is for the vanity. This is for the toilet. Again, all done in PEX. PEX is fantastic, by the way. I love PEX. The interesting thing about this place, though, is that getting to the toilet was a bit of a challenge because I couldn't come down because of that drain pipe, and so I couldn't route anything in the ceiling for that, and so I had to come down very, very low under that drain pipe and traverse like 8 inches off the ground. The placement of the entire framing for this shower or the bathroom was driven by this pipe. This pipe needed to be in the walls, and I had no options on where it needed to be, where it could be. It had to be here. And so what that meant was, right underneath that randomly was this joist, and so it really made things funky. Ordinarily, these supply side lines would just come through the top of the top of the wall, down through the wall nice and neatly, but I couldn't do that, and neither can the vent. So the vent, you can see, has a little jog to this side, and so it all looks a little funky. Not super pleased with it, but I couldn't think of any other way to do this. Anyway, it is what it is. Works. This is tested. My only question is going to be that of depth. I've never mounted one of these shower valves before, and this mud ring apparently has to be flush with the finished surface, sort of recessed, depends on who you ask. So I went with like a blend of opinions. Who knows? Worst case scenario is take it all apart and do it again. Who knows? It's a guess for me. So we did, like I said, we added insulation. Not fully insulated. I had some challenges in here from an insulation standpoint. I don't know, for example, how I insulate this. I didn't bother with that. That's it. And then lastly, we have the mechanical room. Can't really go in there. There's really no point to going in there, but they've got it blocked off for now. You can see some of the things that I've added. The only thing I was telling Carrie is that I'm disappointed I had no real options in terms of dressing out these cables. You can see they brought theirs right to the edge. In order to dress these out, I would need another 4 inches on either side, and I just didn't have it. So it kind of sort of is what it is. These are 2 that I added, and they don't look nearly as nice as the ones that are there, but I don't know that I had many options. would have been nice to make them all pretty and happy, but it is what it is. So tomorrow they start hanging drywall, and this place will look completely different. Next time we get together, this place will look way different. This is the last opportunity that we have. Today is the last opportunity we have to kind of walk through and take photographs of what's behind the walls, what these switch outlets look like, what wires are in which cavity, and after today, it all changes. So that's it. That's it for the update. I will see you in just a few when this is done. Talk to you.